Peace and blessings, family. This is Brother Shareef here live and direct in York, PA at White Rose Community TV. As I always start out, in the name of God, the gracious, the merciful, we give him praise and thanks for his mercy and his goodness to the human family. If all the trees upon the earth were pens to write with, and if all the oceans were ink, and then another 7 oceans to add to its supply, the writing would still not be enough to explain the glory of God, for he's the exalted, all-powerful, all-wise. We confide in no other in our time of need, and we praise no other in our good fortune. He is one. And even if I live to be 1,000, the writing would still not be enough to explain the glory of God. So this is Brother Shareef with the Hour of Power. Go to Hour of Power, Shareef Hamid on YouTube. Subscribe and share the channel. You will hear this motto a lot, so we can continue to lift the mind, body, and soul of our people. Again, we can't thank God enough for all the prophets and messengers that he sent into the earth to lead, teach, and guide us out of the darkness into the light. The scriptures that he brought with them, Moses in the Torah, Jesus in the gospel, and Muhammad with the Quran. We thank God for our ancestors who suffered a great deal coming here to America. They had a lot of courage, a lot of intestinal fortitude, and suffered beyond human comprehension, so we may be here to do what we do today. So I greet everyone in words of peace. To my Christian family, praise the Lord. To my Hebrew Israelite family, shalom. To my Black conscious family, hotep. To my Muslim family, assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak. And to my people in the street, what's good to you? It all means peace. So again, this is Brother Shareef with the Hour of Power. I am so honored to be here today. Before I get started, this is going to be a rather short program today because it's just an intro. And God willing, moving into the future, we will have a little longer hour program, as I will explain. But today is just an intro to give you an idea of what the program is about, how it started, you know, the origin of it, and who gave me the idea, who's been supporting me, and my aim, purpose, and solutions to some of the issues in our community here in York, PA, and nationwide. So that's what the program will be about today. The call-in number is 717-846-5067 if you want to call in a short time that I'm here today. 717-846-5067. I want to thank White Rose Community TV, the young man that runs this program, Mr. Clifton Kern, has been very hospitable in teaching me and my brother how to use this technology. It's more difficult than what it looks. So I like to thank Mr. Clifton for his being hospitable to us, teaching us the technology so we may use this platform to get our message out. As always, I like to thank my good brother Collins Logan. You may not see him, but it's almost like you see a nice BMW or a Lexus. You may see the outside of the car, but there's many things behind the scenes that's making that car go. The engine, the transmission, so on and so forth. I'm not comparing myself to no vehicle or anything, but I'm saying you may see me, but I have a lot of help behind me as other projects I've done to make it go. So my good brother Collins, he's always been in my corner. I moved away from North Carolina many years ago, and even when I was here over 10 years ago and doing different things in the community, he was always by my side, supporting me, making this engine go and trying to get this message out to once again lift the mind, body, and soul of our people. So that's my good brother Collins. He's actually in the studio today making this ship go, making the engine go, along with Mr. Clifton Kern. Another person I want to thank today is Brother Mike Dowry. when like I said, I'm just getting back here in Pennsylvania. They had a 100-man read program at Hannah-Penn just a few weeks ago, where people from the community, mostly men, it was men, will come in, go to different schools in the community and promote reading and literacy to the children in the city. So we had to meet at Hannah-Penn to get our marching orders, so to speak, of where we were going to go to read to the children. And I ran into my good friend Mike Dowry. I grew up with him on Maple Street here in the city. I know his family knows me. And he said, yeah, I've seen your YouTube channel on YouTube and Facebook. It's very interesting. He said, I think it would be very beneficial if you would use this platform. I've heard of it before, but it was the last thing on my mind. He hooked me up with, connected me with Mr. Kern. He let him know what my objective was. Of course, Mr. Kern got back to me, but what I'm saying is I'm just using and expressing my gratitude to him, because I wouldn't be here today. Of course, the Most High makes everything possible, but this wouldn't have been possible if Brother Mike Dowry wouldn't have introduced me, humbled himself, and been gracious enough to hook me up with this platform. So, Mike, if you're listening, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for that connection. Couldn't have did it without you. So those are the main people that I want to thank. Real quick, because we don't have a lot of time. Again, if anyone wants to call in, 717-846-5067. How, for those who don't know me, I don't know who's tuning in. I was born here in York, PA. My mother and father were always there for me. I went to Catholic school starting out up until like 10th, 11th grade. And actually, I got put out of Catholic school because I was, being kind of combative there, trying to find myself. But I was used to going to Catholic school. And actually, they put me out because I flunked a religion class. So reluctantly, I had to go to York High to finish out my high school years. It was very odd for me, even though I was around people who looked like me. I wasn't around the people who I grew up education-wise, so it was very awkward for me. I was at a crossroads of where I was at. I was starting to get in trouble there, not really behavior-wise, but bucking the system, so to speak, speaking out against things that I didn't, that I thought that wasn't correct, getting into it with teachers. And to make a long story short, one time I got sent to what they call the rubber room. That was the internal suspension. It was a dark room. They're not even allowed to operate it like that anymore. It was no windows there. You had to look straight ahead. And if you didn't have any work, you wasn't allowed to talk. You were supposed to do your work and look straight ahead. Of course, when I went there, the teacher didn't have any work for me, so I had to sit there like a deer in the headlights, basically looking stupid. But God sent me an angel that day, which changed my life. It was a young brother in front of me. He was getting ready to leave the rubber room or the internal suspension, and he had a book. And I wasn't really interested in the book. I just wanted something to do. And I said, hey, man, what's that book that you got? And he said, oh, it's some book about some Muslim guy. So I started reading a book. And mind you, my dad was in the Nation of Islam growing up. But when the nation split in 75, and as we go on with these shows, God willing, I'm going to explain all that. But my dad was in the nation. But at that time, I'm in school, so he wasn't in the nation, or he wasn't, so to speak, Muslim anymore. So I got this book and I started reading it just to have something to do. And I started reading through the book, and it started talking about how black people were kings and queens, how we built pyramids, and we did all these great things, and we had civilizations. And mind you, this is back in the early 90s. I never was exposed to this kind of knowledge. It absolutely blew me away. So from that point forward, I started opening up my mind to consciousness and knowledge. And backing up a little bit, I have to be honest. I had a good brother who I went to school with. I met him when I was like maybe in fifth grade, third, fourth grade, somewhere around there. His name was Abdul Muhammad. We were always friends, but now I'm fast forwarding up to high school. I would go to his house with him and his parents, and he was born Muslim, and his parents were Muslim, right? And I would see the difference in how they, carried themselves, their lifestyle, and it just kind of blew me away. I always held on to it, the experiences I had with them, and they were very kind people. And of course, me and Abdul being friends, I would ask him different questions. He had three beautiful sisters, Samia, Sadia, and Sadiqa, and they would, wear their covering, and they would make their prayers. And it was a total culture shock because when my dad was Muslim in the nation, I was just a little boy. So I kind of held on to those memories, now connecting to that experience in the rubber room. So God will always open up something for you. We just have to have our eyes open. I started studying. And then in 1993, December 31st, 1993, I became a Muslim at the mosque here in York, PA, under the guidance of Brother Abdul, his mom Shahida, and his dad Salim. I became Muslim that next year. I was born Eric Howard, but that next year I went to the courthouse, paid a lawyer $300, and I officially got my name changed to Shareef Idris Hamid, which means an honorable teacher who praises God. That's my legal name now, even though my government name is Eric Howard. I went on, I did the best I could, met my wife, Takia. We have three boys, Jordan, Najee, and Naeem. I relocated to North Carolina over 10 years ago. At that time, I was only working in pest control. And one of my customers, who was a therapist, said when I would go to her house, she was always telling me her problems, right? Now I'm getting into my professional career. And she said, you would make a good therapist because you're a good listener and you're kind of soft-spoken and humble. You would make a good therapist. So then I started going to school. First, my undergrad was in criminal justice, and then my master's, I took up courses after 6 years to be a therapist. So that's what I do now. I got involved with the Rites of Passage down there in North Carolina, which is a program for black boys ages 13 to 18. We teach them economics, their history, of course, how to be a good father, how to be a good citizen. We taught them African rituals and things about being themselves, things that they couldn't get in school. A good brother of mine, Akiba Bird, was there by my side and taught me a lot of things. And then from there, that's when I started public speaking, talking about different things going on in the community, mostly revolving my efforts to raise the mind, body, and soul of Black and Latino boys. Nothing against anyone else, but in my humble opinion, we need the most help. So even before I moved to North Carolina, up until now, my main effort and goal in life, other than serving God and helping my family, is lift the mind, body, and soul of our boys and our community. So I worked with the Rites of Passage. From there, I became a counselor, working with a caseload of 100 students, 98% of them Black and Latino. I saw the problems that they had with their family, with school, things that we're going to talk about later. And I continue to do community work there in North Carolina, and that's where I picked up my education. From there, I continue to try to open up my mind to spirituality. Even though I call myself Muslim, I think I'm more spiritual than religious. We're going to talk about that. So that was some of my development coming along. I'm not here to talk about myself, just introducing myself. Then I ran into a good brother by the name of Ty Prince. And he saw the work I was doing, speaking at community centers, at churches, at mosques. Yes, I've spoken churches before. We're going to talk about that. And he said, bro, have you ever thought about starting a YouTube channel? I'm not that real technical savvy. I'm more into writing and, one-on-one with people. I said, I've seen YouTube, but I have no idea how to work it. So he said, man, I'm going to go on my computer and we're going to start you a YouTube channel because I think the messages you have is beneficial to our community and our people in general. I said, well, I appreciate that. So within 2 weeks, he came up with what you see. Anyone go to Hour of Power, Shareef Hamid on YouTube, ShareefHameed on YouTube, and you'll see the messages I have on there. But once again, I wouldn't have been able to get that started without my good friend Ty Prince. So July 26th of 2017 was my opening, so to speak, of the Hour of Power via my good friend down there in North Carolina, Ty Prince. That's how the Hour of Power got started. From there, I started going on Facebook and doing Facebook Live messages, anything going on in the community, different messages, history, anything that I could think of that once again would lift the mind, body, and soul of our people. That's what I put on the YouTube channel, and you can go there right now, and it's tons of things on there. And then the recent messages that I've been doing out of my home, mainly here in Pennsylvania since I relocated. My good brother Collins, those who have been keeping up with the show, you will see a poster board in the background with the African symbol with the Hour of Power. It's very beautiful, and it's a nice glossy background, the African symbol. My good brother Collins, once again, having help design that for me. You may not see him in the forefront, but again, the Hour of Power isn't no one-man show, meaning Brother Shareef. He has a lot of support, mainly the people who I mentioned and others who have supported me, given me ideas. So now here we are here in York, PA, a town just like any other town or city in America that has a lot of challenges and a lot of issues, whether you're talking about education, family life, violence in the community. It is a whole lot of issues going on here in York, PA. Of course, I'm only one person. The Hour of Power is only one source. I think it's a powerful source, but we have some ideas in mind to once again lift the mind, body, and soul of our people. And before I continue with that, it's some nice services in this town that I want to let people know about. And because of me respecting this platform, I have to word it a certain way. But starting out, everyone likes to eat. There's a real nice place to eat that I want y'all to check out. It's 644 South Queen Street in York, PA, zip code 17403, and it's called Sisters Soul Food Restaurant. Their phone number is 717-900-6145. Real nice place to eat. All of us have sons, nephews, grandsons. What? You want them going to school looking nice? There's a real nice sister who I have went to before that is real good with her barber skills. It's called Kayla's Barbershop, 568 West Market Street in York. Her phone number is 717-353-6223. That's Kayla's Barbershop. Check her out. The brother who I said helped me get the YouTube channel started with all the nice backdrop and the intro that you saw, Ty Prince. He does mobile detailing. He can help people get started and get their own mobile detailing started. The way you contact him is NC, because he's in North Carolina, mobiledetailing.com, or you can call him at 919-972-8063. His name is Ty Prince. My good friend I grew up with, Dominic Chapman, credit repair, income tax prep, business consulting, real estate services. He's at 23 East Princess Street, York, PA. He can be reached at 717-850-3665. So those are some people doing some positive things in York, PA that you can hook up with. This is some of the things that the Hour of Power wants to do. We want to address the education gap going on in the school system. Again, I'm currently a therapist here in York, PA. I go to people's home and help out with family problems, behavior problems. We want to address the education gap here in York, PA. Not just talk about it, but give solutions on how to keep our boys and our girls out of trouble, and so they can be the stars that they're born to be. That's one thing that I want to address. It is a lot of misinformation and have solutions. It is a lot of misinformation out here about Islam. If you see the backdrop there, you're probably like, what is all those lights? That's what you call Mecca. And then the cube there in the middle is Kaaba, the Kaaba. Muslims go there, hopefully once in their life, to make pilgrimage. Anyone who's seen Malcolm X, if you've seen the movie, he went there to make his pilgrimage. It's one of the 5 pillars of Islam. And I want to make this clear. This is not a religious channel. This is not a religious channel. Well, Brother Shareef, I thought you said you was a Muslim or a Muslim. Yes, I am. But it's not a religious channel. It will have some spirituality laced in it, but it's not a religious channel. But in that, and part of us educating ourselves in the community, we need to clear up some myths about Muslims being terrorists and marrying a bunch of wives and being abusive. We want to clear all that up. So I will bring in people who can clear this up. Another misnomer or thing that people are a little unclear on is that we're all the same. No, all Muslims are not the same. I had mentioned how I came into Islam. My dad was in the Nation of Islam. I'm not in the Nation of Islam, even though I have a great amount of respect for them. So you got the Nation of Islam, you got Sunni Muslims, you got Shiite Muslims, you got those who follow the direction of Imam W.D. Muhammad. What is all that about? Well, I'm going to bring people in to explain it, because this show ain't about me. Today will be the last day, so to speak, or the last night. Do you hear me talking about myself? This is for the community, to educate the community, to give them information that they may not know about and have solutions to our issues. So we will bring people in to clear up all of that misinformation about Islam. But I am Muslim and I am African unapologetically. We're not here to debate with no one. We're not here to hurt anyone. We're not here to step on anyone's toes. I don't get into religious debates. I just give the information. And 95% of what you will hear will be unadulterated truth that I can prove at no limit of time. And maybe 5% will be my opinion or what I think. I will have the proof to back up everything that I say and what we put out there. But we're going to bring in people from the community to clear up that misinformation that needs to be cleared up about Islam and religion. I may bring in someone from the Christian faith, because this is from the community, and it's not for me to try to dictate how someone gets their awakening. I have my own way. So-and-so has their own way, but I don't have the power or the authority or the right to try to dictate to someone what wakes them up. Remember, the motto of this show is to lift the mind, body, and soul of our people. I can't dictate that. I may bring in someone from that is from the Moorish Science Temple. Some may ask, what is that? I'm going to bring in, hopefully, God willing, someone to clear that up. Some people that's from my faith like, oh, why are you doing that? I'm not debating with no one. This is my way and what I believe is the right way to wake up the people. It's many doors to get to the mansion and get to the Father. That's scripture. All right. So those are some of the things that we're going to do. I want to hear from some sisters too. I don't want this to be no male dominated show. So any sisters out there that want to bring your perspective, as long as it's going to lift the mind, body, and soul of our people and be beneficial for our people, I gave you the phone number. My personal number is 919-265-4119, or you can go to Our Power Shareef Hamid on YouTube and contact me and inbox me so we can hear from you. If you got some young people in the community who are achieving academically, I want to hear from them, because we have too much of just hearing about the violence that's going on in the community and different negative things. I want to show the positive light of our young people. I already have a young man in mind. He just wasn't able to make it tonight, but we want to interview and bring them in. So anyone that can bring anything positive to our community, to our people, I want to hear from you. This is not about me. It's not about one particular person, and it certainly ain't no religious or a Muslim channel. So I'm making that clear. We want to talk about different things going on in the community, nationwide, worldwide, but mainly right here in the community. Bring different perspectives, educate our people, and have solutions to our problems. That's what the Hour of Power is about. So again, go to Hour of Power, Shareef Hamid on YouTube, ShareefHameed. Subscribe and share so we can continue to lift the mind, body, and soul of our people. If you know anyone who can give us some positive information and wants to come here for an interview, every Wednesday, 8 o'clock, channel 16 on local Access TV, White Rose Community TV. God willing, I will be here 8 o'clock. Next week, God willing, we will have Brother Wayne Scott on, and he's going to tell us about the Trey and Boo Classic taking place June 23rd at Penn Park. I don't have the direct time, but I will post it on my Facebook page. So that is Wayne Scott next week, June 20th, 8 p.m. sharp. Same bat time, same bat place, right here on Community TV, channel 16. This is Brother Shareef with the Hour of Power. Again, go to Hour of Power, Shareef Hamid on YouTube. I leave you in peace as I came. To my Muslim family, assalamu alaikum. To my Christian family, praise the Lord. To my Hebrew Israelite family, shalom. To my people in the streets, what's good to you. And to my Black conscious family, Hotep. It all means peace. We're going to bring this thing together. We're going to solve the issues of our community all together. So thank you for listening, and next week's show will be a little more extended. This is just the intro to this show.